Hi everyone, this is Kelly, and today we are going to do the second card in our masculine suite of cards for the month of May. We are going to be using this stamp set, and I am also going to be using You're Absolutely Amazing from Color and Contour. That's in the new catalog also, but this particular card features the Sailing Home along with the dies that go with it. So this is what we're using, and it's on page 51 of the catalog, the new catalog. And this is what the stamp set looks like. Again, mine has a D on the back of it, letting me know there's a die set that goes with it. And I have this on the inside of my case, so I have both of them together. It's just how I like to do it. How you store them is up to you, but this one is very particular to this particular set, so I thought, well, I'll keep it with my stamps. Now, as you can see, there's a bunch of stamps here. However, I've got them on blocks to be used here in just a moment. So let me put this aside. And this is the card we're going to make. It's sort of a fun fold. Isn't that cute? Now, if you have this stamp set, you are not limited to using the sailing ships. If you would rather stamp a compass rose, or if you'd rather do the lighthouses here, you're more than welcome. And in fact, I did put out the sailing boats again, but I think I'm going to switch it out and not do sailing. I think I will do a lighthouse. So let me take this out and put it on a stamp block, and let me put these back in here, because actually these go in just kind of funny. That's how I have them in here. So I'm down to 3 stamps versus just the 4 I had before. So this is kind of nice. Okay, so I'm going to do it with this time. So we'll see how this goes. I think it'll turn out really nice. And let's get started. At the end, I'm going to show you some other cards that are the similar design. However, I've used different things, and you can tell me what you think about them. So you should have a envelope, and in that envelope, if you pull it out, my goodness, okay, you have your envelope. You can just put that to the side for right now. You should have in the envelope, you should have a piece of this goes in here like this. Okay, this is your inside. The smaller white one is your inside. The other one is for you to die cut out of. Then you should have a embossed piece. You should have a label. You should have 2 strips. And you should also have an anchor's wheel. Okay, now you can use all or any of these. If you don't want to use the captain's wheel, don't do that. Use something else. It's perfectly fine. This is your card. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to show you the technique. This particular card, this is out of Cherry Cobbler, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored here at 4 1/4, and the other one is scored at 5/8. So it's scored at 5/8 here. So what the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold this back like this, and you're going to use your bone folder. And here I am searching for a bone folder again. We will have to use the dirty one. So we're using the dirty one. Here it is. I was doing something with an ink pad and I got ink all over this one. So you just want to fold this back. So that's all I'm doing with that. You are then going to take one of these strips and you are going to eventually put it right here. And this other one, or this you can use the thinner one if you want. So it's lined in there. I really like the bigger one myself. And then this is going to get glued onto here like this. Now some of these, the paper trimmer blade was getting a little bit dull, so you might have some fuzzies on it. If you do, just take a scissor and cut off the fuzzies if you see them. Otherwise, it really shouldn't make much difference. Now you can tape this or you can glue it. I find gluing it is the easiest way to get it straight. So here I go again using my glue. And I just want a little bit of glue here. I do not want a big glob of glue. And I got one anyways. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I want about a fourth of an inch or so to show. Okay, like that. Now it doesn't matter if you have a lot of glue now, but I would just put the glue there like that. That certainly came out with some gusto. That's the best way to put that. There's enough glue there for an army. It's even coming out the end. That's too funny. Okay, so that should be glued down. Now, this particular stamp here, set here, I'm going to set this aside for a second. I am going to stamp this. I used the nautical knots from there, and I stamped it in with the same color of Night of Navy. This is a Night of Navy strip, and I'm just going to take some other color and just put it under here. So while I'm stamping, if it gets off, I'm trying to keep my white paper clean right now. So I'm just going to see if I can stamp this under here. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because it's just supposed to be ropes going down the side. And it's kind of like you're making your own DSP on that little bit there. And if you're me, you're going to come in and you're just going to put a little bit right there. So you see how I've kind of got it conjoined all the way down. It's not, it's just to fill in a little bit there. Let me put that aside. And now this is going to get glued onto here. I am going to, I've got little fuzzies on here. I don't know if you can see them, but I can. And so let me fix the fuzzies real fast. Sometimes it just happens when your blades are starting to get dull, or you don't put enough pressure. And I think my blade was starting to get dull. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. We're going to use our green glue. This is the best little glue there is. I personally use a different glue most of the time, but feel that I need to learn how to use this glue better. So I'm trying to do it in my videos. Okay, I can tell you for gilding though, this is the best glue there is. You don't want to use any other glue for if you're using the gilding flakes, and that's just from experience. I know that glue is the best. I did a bunch of samples trying to make sure I had just the right thing, and you know I had to go and make that kitty wampus, didn't I? Okay, well let me adhere that again. And that's the beauty of glue. It gives you a moment. So here's the front of my card so far. Okay. Here is the front of my card. And we're just going to set that aside. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And I'm going to stamp my lighthouse so that I can run it through the die machine and die cut it out. That looks pretty good. That's a pretty good stamp there. And let me see, hopefully this fits in here. I think it will. You are amazing. Just trying to make sure I've got it straight on the camera. That's always the amazing thing. Can I get it straight? You know, I didn't do too bad there. I did not do too bad. So before I close up my glue, I am going to come through and I am going, or not my glue, gosh, I can't talk. I am going to stamp my envelope. Now, I will go over an envelope with a big image like this. I just think that's fun. And then I will put it again on the front. So now I can close up my ink before I'm wearing it. That's always a good thing. We do not want me wearing the ink. It makes for interesting situation here. So I am going to put this piece. Oh, I totally messed up. I did. I messed up. Well, this is my inside piece. So this is going to go in here. Good thing I put it in one corner. Let me put that piece on the inside, and then I'll get out the ink again and we'll stamp one on that other bigger piece that was supposed to be for the die cut machine. Okay, so that's that. Let me get my sentiment out of the way. Let me pull out my ink again. If you don't know how to open these, it's pretty simple. You just kind of pop it like that and then slide it. Took me forever to find that trick. I think it took about 4 or 5 people showing it to me before I actually could do it. So there. That's still a good stamp. So I am going to run this through my cut and emboss machine, and let me go do that real quick. And I thought I had it close enough to me. Let me put this on here. Now I am a person that once I line this up, I hold it down and I use repositional tape. And as you can see, I use it a lot. I don't always throw it away. It looks pretty ratty and dirty, but it just needs to be able to hold it where it is. So if you give me just a moment here, sorry for the wiggle, I'm going to cut this out. I will be right back. It would pay for me to have this stuff right at my fingertips, but it's actually behind me. So I had to go. I had to move. And there we have it. That's my cut embossed cutout of my beautiful, beautiful lighthouse. So you will notice that on here we have this beautiful tag, and it has the dovetailing on this. The simplest way to dovetail something is to, you can either have a punch. If you have the triple punch that was retired, that would work. But what I do is I just kind of eyeball it and cut up about, ½ inch or so. That's probably more of a 3/4 of an inch. And then I just cut into it. And then I cut from the other corner to the same spot. And if it doesn't look right, then I just make it bigger. I kind of go back and forth till it kind of looks like a dovetail. Now the difference is this one I did with a punch, this one I just hand did. But that's how you're going to get around it. And now we need dimensionals. Always need dimensionals. Okay, so you decide which side looks the bumpiness or gives you the right texture. It doesn't really matter. They're both the same as far as I could tell. And I just go through and I give it a few dimensionals. I am not stingy with these things. I love playing with these. I find them everywhere. And anybody who has this would know that these things follow you around the house. Even if you don't try, they do. Here's where your take your pick tool comes in handy. You can just poke them and pull it off. Just hold down the thing. This way you can keep track of all those little things that like to follow you around the house. And see, they're all like in a little bundle. And I can pop them off the end into the trash. And voila, they are good. I borrowed that from Miss Frenchie. She is just the sweetest person. I love to watch her. And she always says voila at the end of everything. So it cracks me up, so I borrowed it for today. So I'm going to put this on here. Okay. Now I am going to actually glue this down. I am not going to dimensionalize it because this is already popped up. You've got it. It's starting to get chunky here. So I'm going to determine where I want this. And the best thing to do is kind of look at where are you going to put this. You don't really want them to hit each other, so maybe I'll put it up a little bit farther. I think that's good. Now, this is going to be wonky, so I'm going to take that off for a minute and let's put this on first. It's dimensional time again. So we're going to just put dimensionals on like this half of this lighthouse. So I'll put a good one down here, and I think I can get one more there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my little halfies that are here and see if I can get it like right in here. And you know what? If you don't like it, you lift them off or cut them to make them smaller. I'm good with that too. There we go. So basically what I want is I want something that will make it level with this. That's on a dimensional. Okay. And I want it to, I will glue this portion here. So let's get our green glue again. We're just going to put a little strip here if I can get it to flow. It loves to clog up on me or come out too fast, one or the other. Too much, too much. There we go. I think I did it this time. I think I got it right. I'm going to put that lid on it. Let me grab my take your pick tool. Take this off. The beauty of this, of the green glue, is you have time to maneuver things. It's really one of the best parts about it. So I'm going to just look at that like that. That looks pretty good to me. I could slide it up a little bit, and now I'm adhering it down. Okay, so now I've got this the same level as this, but this is attached to here. And lastly, let's get our green glue out again. Let's put this on now that we know where that is. This going somewhere will make more sense. I can figure out where that is with a little bit of space. I have a little bit of wiggle room. See how you can just like slide it around? I love that. Oh, there, I'm so sorry I hit that. Now the last thing you want to do is put on your anchor, or well, this is not an anchor, this is a ship's wheel, and I keep calling it an anchor, so I apologize, people. I'm just I have different words. I'm thinking anchor because I know some people will use the anchor for this as opposed to what I'm doing. So there we go. I'm just going to, I don't think that's going to fit there, so I'm going to go and put it on the bottom. just put it how it fits. That's how I think. Okay. So while this one is a little bit different than the original, the concept is pretty much the same. Okay. This could come down a little bit further because I did have a smaller element on the front. But isn't this a fun little card? Now, I said that I would show you a couple of variations of this card. So let me do that right now. Okay. So here is one that I made, and this is a totally different look. I used some leaf patterns, and I just put a leaf on the front, nothing on the inside. It's just kind of a masculine, or anybody's card actually, but it's simple, it's clean. I think it's a lot of fun. I have this tendency to put everything in little baggies, so if you hear the crinkle crinkle, that's what that is. And then I was trying to use this other stamp set, which I absolutely love, and it had a seahorse in it. And so I used colors like Night of Navy. This is Purple Posy. It's a retired color at this time. And then I did an image here, and I put the seaweed here. Now what's different with this card is that I used a full sheet here and then just stamped the side versus, oh, let me take it back out. Should learn to leave them out for a few minutes. Versus having the card here and then having your strip here, so you got that texture, that element. We did not add any embellishments onto this. You certainly could. As you see, I've got some embellishments on these, but if you felt like it, you certainly could put something on there to make it, you know, have a little bit more bling. For these, I didn't feel they needed it. And these two, well, this one I was thinking more of it going to a girl, and then this one was just the matte black, which I really liked the matte black and the browns. I was trying to push myself to use browns. So I want to thank you all for coming today and watching this. This is card number 2 of our masculine card set, and hold on, there's another whole video coming in a few minutes. Thank you. Bye-bye.